And she wasn't getting it, so I was like, Marina, Sierra, Benita. And she was like, oh! And she's just like the one with the best. That's just like this my core memory. Finally.
Come on in. Either side's fine, right, left, left.
Alright, so let's see at this time. That means we might now stick together. Let's see, they do have right now. They have different ones. Chicken, spicy chicken. What? This is Red Rose. That better stick around.
The Disneyland Limited, now arriving from a trip around Walt Disney Magic Kingdom. Passengers will stand by the
Thank you for Choo-Choo and the Disneyland Railroad. Have a great rest of your evening.
Like July? They're doing like this one, they're doing some of the fairy tale suites up on the top floor there, and then one of the connectors.
All aboard! Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents, please supervise your children, making sure they are in their seats and away from the train openings. Our next stop is New Orleans.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to Main Street Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square. This station also serves Frontierland and Bayou Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment. This is New Orleans Square Station.
Please remain seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop. This is New Orleans Square Station, your stop for Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, and Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Please remain seated until the trains come to a full and complete stop. Also, fun fact for the evening, when talking about designing the ride, Walt explicitly referred to it as Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think I'm gonna get off and famous.
Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents, please supervise your children, making sure they're in their seats and away from the train openings. Our next stop is Mickey's Toontown Depot.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering the Bayou, home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Take a sneak peek at the big party Princess Tiana is throwing, where the welcome is warm, the music is hot, and the company is sweet as honey. As we steam past Hungry Bear Barbecue Jamboree, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the Great River Valley below. People like you have been riding those rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fuels these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable. Like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of ear. The ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown. Our train home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories. If you're leaving us here, please wait until the train comes to a full stop. Remember your personal...
Please remain seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop at the station. This is Mickey's Toontown Depot, your stop for all of Mickey's Toontown, including Fantasyland. Please remain seated. We'll train to go. Welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. Please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents, please supervise your children, making sure they're in their seats and away from the train openings. Next stop, Tomorrowland.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
Remain seated until the boat comes to a complete stop at the dock and you are asked to disembark. Thank you. Veuillez rester assis jusqu'à l'arrêt complet du bateau et attendez jusqu'à ce que l'hôte ou l'hôtesse vous demande de descendre. Merci. Keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat. Please watch your children. Thank you.
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and, if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
Please remain seated until the trains come to a full and complete stop. This is Tomorrowland Station, your stop for Autopia, Space Mountain, the Matterhorn bobsleds, and if you are looking for something to eat for dinner, check out Alien Pizza Planet. They have a chicken pesto Alfredo that is one of my favorite dishes in the park. Please remain seated until the trains come to a full and complete stop. Thank you. hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train at all times. Parents, please supervise your children, making sure they are in their seats and away from the train opening. Next stop is Main Street Station.
To those who have just come aboard, welcome. The next leg of our journey will take us from the fantastic world of the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Por favor, no tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and...
Please remain seated until the train has come to a full and complete stop in the station. This is Main Street. Be advised, Main Street Station only has stair exits. We do not have any ramps. Please wait until you reach the bottom of the staircase in order to unfold your strollers. Thank you for choosing the Disneyland Railroad and have a great rest of your evening.